Hello everyone, this is Sachin Sawant, your UK immigration lawyer. Today I'm going to discuss the changes that will be brought into play for the dependents of healthcare visa holders. So the, it's only for the specific job codes. I have the fact sheet in front of me. I'll try to take points, every point at a time, and try to explain as much as possible. So basically the change is only going to come for the care providers. This is the first one. So the sponsors who are doing the regulated activities, the activities which are regulated by the CQC, Care Quality Commission, only they will be able to sponsor migrants going forward after the change happens. The change may happen around April sometime, that's what is expected. The rules have not been published yet, but a detailed fact sheet with the explanation, I have it in front of me. I'm trying to decipher it, and I'll try to give as much whatever explanations, pointers I can give. So that is the first point. Going forward, only care providers who are doing the activities which are regulated by the CQC, Care Quality Commission, only they can sponsor migrants. That's the number one. Mainly from the migrants' perspective, I know there are many questions on the channel. I'll try to cover as much as possible and split it out and explain. So, care worker and senior care worker, only these two job codes, care worker job codes, the number will come. Subsequently, I'll tell the number as well. Care workers and senior care workers. I'm getting a lot of questions on the channel asking for care dependents of chefs, any other skilled workers, etc. etc. So this change is only going to come into effect for the care workers, for the dependents, which is husband, wife, unmarried partner, etc., or children under 18 years of age. Those are the dependents, PBS dependents, points based system. Only for when the main applicant is a care worker in one of those job codes, they will come subsequently. So this requirement does not apply to other occupations, only to these specific job codes basically. The next point that they have clarified is also the changes to the skilled worker visa. So I will cover that in a different video. So the minimum salaries which are going to increase from whatever they are currently, minimum of 26,200 to about 38,700. Whenever that changes, that will not affect the salaries of healthcare visa holders. That's what they have also confirmed. I know that. Next point is what happens to the care workers who are already in the UK. So I'll just try to split and explain over here. Where is my red pen? So someone who already has a skilled worker permission as a senior care worker under those job codes, if the main applicant is already in, has the permission, then they can sponsor the dependents. That is perfectly fine. The dependents can join subsequently even after the change comes into place. So individuals who are the main applicants who are already in the UK, and if the dependents have not joined, are in some other visa category, immigration category in the UK, then they can be added to the main applicant at any point of time even after the change happens. So let me just take an example. If the change happens on 1st of April, this is just an example date. So 1st of April, if let's say the change happens, if the main applicant has obtained the skilled worker visa approval, whether they are outside the UK and have just got the approval, or they have already come to the UK, doesn't matter. If they have got the approval, they come under the current rules, so they can sponsor the dependents at any time in future. Secondly, dependents who are already in the UK. So if you are already in the UK along with the main applicant, you can continue to stay in the UK. So basically everyone, these will be the transitional provisions as such they have confirmed. Anyone who is already applied, the main applicant has already applied, they will not be disadvantaged. Their dependents will not be disadvantaged, whether the dependents have already applied or they have not applied. So that is the main point. So if main applicant is already in the UK, that's fine, dependents can join later. If main and dependent both are in the UK, they can continue living in the UK, that is also fine. The only change that will have is where the main applicant, skill that main applicant skilled worker permission is approved after this date. So it happens after the change happens. Let's say if I'm taking 1st of April as the change date, if the change happens on 1st of April and that is effective from 1st of April, then and the skilled worker visa was approved for the main applicant, the health and care visa, then the new rules will apply to that person. That is what we understand from the fact sheet. So this is briefly the summary of it. I'll try to cover other points as well. So where a care worker, senior care worker is in the route already before the rule change, but has not yet brought dependents. So this is the first example where they've talked about main is already in the UK, dependents are not in the UK, they have never applied. They will be allowed to bring dependents. So during the main applicant has the visa, the dependents can join them. Individuals who are already in the UK in any other route. So let's say the dependents on any other route, including where that route permits dependents, who switch into the care visa as a care worker or senior care worker after rules change will not be able to bring over dependents. So anyone who joins this area, who gets a skilled worker visa, care worker visa after the change happens, whether they are already, let's say you are a student in the UK and after the change happens your skilled worker is approved, the new rules will apply to you. You cannot bring dependents. Let's say you are someone outside the UK and you apply, then also the rules will apply to you. So whether you are inside the UK or outside the UK in any other category, it does not matter. Secondly, care providers who are sponsoring. Yes, so and also about the care providers as I discussed. So other care providers who are sponsoring exclusively in non-regulated sector. Non-regulated means not which is not regulated by the CQC, Care Quality Commission. Therefore, they are not required to be registered with the CQC. Before the rules change, should be able to continue sponsoring them. So, for example, you are working for a care home or care provider who is not registered with the CQC for whatever the activities they are doing. As they are not required to be registered, you can continue working with that care provider before the rules change. However, after the rules change, they will not be able to sponsor anyone new, including extension. So, if you are working for the same rule change, should not be able to continue sponsor these workers, including for extension. So those companies, so for example, if it is X Limited, they are a care provider, they are not registered with the CQC and they are not required to be registered. They have hired, say, a care worker and they have sponsored them before the rules change. So they can continue to extend their leave even if the rules change and they are not allowed to sponsor any new migrants. That is from the employer's perspective, and the migrant who is working with them can continue to work with them. But if they decide to change employment, they will not be able to change with someone who is not regulated by the CQC. They will have to come into the regulated area if they are trying to change employers, because that migrant will be a new employee for the new employer. So that is mainly, let me see. I think I have covered most of the points. I think is we are providing. So summarily, I'll just summarize this. Health and care workers will not be able to sponsor dependents going forward after the change comes into play around April or so. That's what we are expecting. And before that, if you are already into this route, skilled worker, senior care or care worker visa, then you don't have to worry whether your dependent is in the UK or outside the UK. You can bring them subsequently as well. So, and dependents who are already in the UK as dependents, they can continue to remain dependents and continue their journey to extensions, ILRs, etc., etc., provided they are meeting all other requirements. And that is the main summary of the changes. The draft rules have not been published yet, so I don't have the rules. I just have the fact sheet from which as much as answers I could derive. So this is the whole summary of the dependents. For any questions, you can ask it on our channel anyways through the live session or shorts. I'll try and answer as many questions as possible, but I hope this thing helps. If it does help you, do like the channel, subscribe to our channel, and whatever else you do on social media, comment, share. If you have decided to apply now after listening to this video, or this video has helped you or not helped you as well, any comments you can write in the comment section. Also, I have a new setup of these videos and this voice system. Voice may or may not be clear. I'm trying to test it and work it out. Slowly, slowly things will improve. Yeah. Thank you very much.